What emotions do you have knowing this will be the last time you're out on the field at Davis Wade Stadium?
I don't think it's really hit me yet. I really just realized that today was our last day in full pads, so it's my last practice in full pads. So it's I've been here a long, long time, man. But I mean, people always say it'd go by fast, and I'm just no, it didn't. But in a way, I guess so. But really, I've been here for so long, but I don't really think all of it's just kind of hit me. And I'm sure it will at the game.
When we talked to you in the summer at media days, we talked about how many times you were going to run the ball, and I got the impression you thought you were going to run a little less this year. Are you surprised by how many times you've carried the ball this year?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I did think we were gonna throw the ball a little more, but we're gonna do what we're gonna call the plays that we think are gonna be successful, and we weren't always firing all cylinders throwing the ball, so running it is what we did, and I'm always happy to carry the ball for the team.
Close game in Fayetteville last year against Arkansas. What do you remember about that game, and what are you expecting to see from them this week?
The weather. It was like 35 degrees and raining. It was terrible. I remember it definitely being a close game. We didn't play well till the fourth quarter. That obviously ended up down 14 going into the fourth quarter, if I remember correctly. Had to score late to win it. It's a good defense. They obviously have different coaches now, so it's going to be a different look. But we like what we see when we're watching film, and we have a good game plan going into it.
Arkansas is a team you've had some success against in the past 2 years, I know. And then John Chavis, he was at Texas A&M when you were putting up numbers on those guys. Do you feel, knowing all that you think you're poised to have a big senior day?
I think I'm gonna go out there. Like I said, I think during the time we've been watching film the past couple of days, I think it's really a defense that that we can attack very well with our offense without having to really put any new plays in or do anything differently. They're very simple with what they do, but throughout the season they've gotten better and better. It's one of those teams where I think that their record doesn't exactly represent how good they are as a team. But I'm going to go out there and execute the plays that they call, and hopefully have a big senior day.
3 games left in the college career, and you're still working on some things. Is that a reflection of changing the offense up this year? Just the fact that you never quit learning?
How do you mean, like still changing?
Still trying to adjust, get some finesse, some things, learn some techniques, different things like that.
I mean, personally, my game, technique and everything about that, I'm always working on it. I mean, hopefully, to the day that I'm done playing this sport, whether that be a year, hopefully 10 years down the road, I hope that I never get complacent and think that I'm good enough. So definitely, from the day I walked on campus here to the day I leave, I've been working on things, just trying to become a better individual player and help the team out. So definitely until the clock hits 0 during the bowl game, I'll be keeping working on things.
If there's just one thing you could do a lot better these last 2 games regular season, if you had to pick one thing, what would you really want to improve on?
I think a lot of people would say I still need to work on my throwing, but if you look at it, the past couple of weeks I've been pretty accurate with the ball. Made good decisions with it. Didn't give them anything cheap. So I mean, honestly, I think just go out there and enjoy the game while I'm playing it. For as long as I am.
You said most of all, you're probably going to remember people more than anything about your time here. For the better part of the last 3 years, you've been taking snaps from the same guy. What has Elton meant to you throughout your career here?
A lot. He's a guy that he kind of started when I started. He started a new position completely, and I was back there behind him. I always had a great relationship with him. We've always worked hard. Always had great communication. On the field, off the field, watching film. Definitely someone who goes out there and commands the offensive line like they need to be. So he's been huge.
You're coming up on 1 year to the injury that you suffered last season. At this point in the season, do you feel as healthy as you did going into the last week of the season last year?
Yeah, absolutely. Throughout the season, everybody gives bumps and bruises. Everybody gets scraped up and that sort of thing. And that's why it's such a big recovery time between practices and games. But as for my ankle or anything like that, I feel fine. I think I've proven I'm still just as fast and just as capable to run the ball as I have been. So I feel good going into these last 3 games.
What are your thoughts on the uniforms that you'll be wearing on
Love
Saturday?
them. I love them. I've been waiting 5 years for us to get a gray uniform. I'm glad they finally did it, and definitely gonna have to steal one and take it out with me.
Why gray? Why you would wait for gray?
I've always just thought that the gray would look good. I always just thought it would be a gray and maroon, because I always thought that would look good together. But we went gray and black, and it's still huge. It's also a meaningful thing to do. To honor somebody and honor our armed forces like that. So on top of me really liking the jersey, coming from a military family, I also understand the other side of it.
After games, you usually have dog tags on. I guess what's the story behind that?
So every week, our offensive coordinator will give certain people on the offense dog tags, and it'd be kind of like the dog of the week. Someone who needs to perform well and do his job perfectly for us to be able to succeed. Since I'm the offensive captain, I always have my own dog tag with my name on it, and then another one that would just be like everybody else wore.
And heading into this game, it is a military appreciation game. What does that mean to you personally, since you were born on a military base?
Absolutely. Born in Bitburg, Germany, on an American Air Force base. Moved to Panama City, Florida. Moved up to Peoria, Illinois, and then to Richmond Hill. And from the time I was born until I went into 7th grade, seeing Dad during the day, I was taking a trip to the base and going and seeing him. Deployed 3 times. Always having to do drill weekends, that kind of thing. But also, a guy who coached me in every sport and always found time to be around us and that sort of thing. So it was huge to have a dad that was able to do all that while still staying home enough to really grow up with the kids and coach me and that kind of thing. So grandfather was in the Army. My oldest brother was in the Army. So definitely come from a military family, military background. So definitely appreciate them. Appreciate the military.
Did you ever imagine driving one of those big birds or big tanks?
I never got into any of that stuff. That'd been cool though. That's Steak.
Thank you.